Hello dear students, welcome to the online classes. Student, this is the revision lesson for your lesson number 14, measurements and effects of heats. So we have already done with this chapter. We have seen what is heat and what are the different effects and how we will measure the heats. So as you know that about the heat, we can say that there is a various types of heat. We can get heat from our gas stove. This is also one kind of heat. So different forms of heat is there. But heat is what? Heat is exactly what? Heat is a kind of a energy. So when there is a heat, when the object expands and when the object contracts. So why the objects expands? When you give the heat, then the objects expands. So when we say that the object is contract, it means the object is cool. So similarly, these are the different states of heat, and the SI unit of this heat to calculate the heat is joule, and in the CGS system it is calorie. So we have already seen this in the classroom. So students, let's do another this one revision. Now, what are the sources of heat? So the basic or the main source of heat, the biggest source of heat is sun. So all the earth is receive the energy or the heat from the sun only. So there is a fusion in the sun, like there are some gases like hydrogen, helium. Some of the gases are present in the sun, and that from the sun we get the heat energy. And the next source of heat is earth. So our earth, at the center of the earth there is a heat, and that heat is called as geothermal energy. Next sources of heat is chemical energy. So when we burn a fuel like wood, coals, petrols, there are lots of chemicals reaction between them, like fuel and oxygens. All those things comes out from the wood and coal, and we get the heat from this, and this kind of heat is called as chemical energy. Next is electrical energy. We all know that in our daily life we are using several equipments, like we are using geyser, heater, electric irons. All these are the sources of electrical energy. So students, next is atomic energy. Atomic energy, basically we don't use the atomic energy, but it is there, like there is a kind of a nuclei, elements like uranium, thorium. There is a fusion, they bombarded all these particular uranium and thorium, and they form an atomic energy. They produce a huge amount of energy. So this is called as atomic energy. So you must have known that there is a center which is called as Bahaba center. It is there in a chamber. There they produce the atomic energy. So what they do, they bombarded the uranium and thorium, and there is one kind of a process goes on, a fission process, and they produce the atomic energy. So that is also one source of heat. Next is air. We all know that in our air there is a moisture, there is a humidity, everything is present in our air. So when there is a hot climate or a summer climate, then this air becomes it gives you the large amount of heat also. Temperature, okay, this you understood, all the sources of heat what we get. Now the next thing is temperature. Don't get confused with the heat and temperature, both are the different things. What is that? Now see how we can justify what is temperature, or how we can say that the object is heated, it is cold or hot. So by doing just a simple experiment, you can see there are three vessels: vessel A, vessel C, and vessel B. So what we will do, in a vessel A there is a water, but it is a very cold water, and in the vessel B there is a hot water. So what we will do, we put some of the water of A and we will put some of the B water in one vessel, that is vessel C. So when we put our hand in vessel A, as you know that vessel A is a jar, this jar vessel is very much hot. So when we put the hot water in this, and when we put your hands in this, and in this one, the B one, you put your hand and this is the cold water. So what you will feel, that when you take out your hands and just dip in vessel C, so the hot water hand feel much colder, and when you vessel B ka this one, when you put this hand, this is the cold water, and when you put the same hand in the vessel C, you feel much warmer. So this is the experiment to show that there is a change in temperature. So depend on how much the heat is, the temperature changes. So we cannot touch the object and say that there is a temperature. So to measure the temperature, there are different kinds of things, there are different parameters are there to measure this heat and temperature. So as I told you that heat is measured in joule and temperature, now we will see how the temperature is measured. First, to understand the temperature, let's see the temperature. There is a hot gas and there is a cooler gas. It said that in the solid state, when the thing is in a solid state, all the atoms are congested, all the atoms comes closer. So all these are comes closer. And when we see in the hot gases, so see there is a difference. I mean the distance is more in the hot gases, and when the object is in a cooler state, then these are contracted. So when the hot thing, I mean the object is hot, the atoms are far away from each other, and when the object is cool, the atoms contract with each other. So this is the way the atoms perform, and there is a motion of atom in the gas and the solid. Next is, students, how to measure, I mean how to calculate the temperature. So basically temperature's unit is Celsius, so it is C, it is Fahrenheit, it is F, and the Kelvin. All these names are just after the scientist name. Okay, so Celsius, Fahrenheit, and Kelvin, this is our 3 unit where we can calculate the temperature. And before calculating this temperature, let's understand this formula. You have to by heart this formula, as in the next coming standard you have to calculate the temperature either in Fahrenheit, either in Celsius, or either in Kelvin. So the formula number 1 is F minus 32 upon 9 is equal to C upon 5. This is the first formula. If the C is given, like if the temperature is given in Celsius, you can calculate the Fahrenheit. If the temperature is given in Fahrenheit, you can calculate in Celsius. So you just remember the formula. From this formula we can calculate the temperature. Now the K is equal to C plus 273.15. So once you calculate the C, what is the value of C, you can easily find out what is the value of K. So see, in from the solve example, here one example is given, like how much will the temperature of 68 Fahrenheit be in Celsius and Kelvin. Like see, it is given like 68 Fahrenheit. So that means F is given, F is 68, and temperature in Celsius. So we have to find it out C, and we have to find it out K also. So as per the formula, according to the formula, F minus 32 upon 9 is equal to C upon 5. F value is given as 68, so we will write 68 over here, minus 32 upon 9 is equal to C upon 5. Now what we will going to do, minus 68 minus 32 become 36. Just cross multiply this one. So when we cross multiply it, it becomes 5 into 36 upon 9. Then 9 ones are 9, and then 9 fours are 36. 4 multiplied by 4, I mean 5 multiplied by 4 become 20. So 20 degree Celsius, the C has come. Now to calculate the K, just replace the value of C over here in this formula, that is K is equal to C plus 273.15. It means 20 plus 273.15 become 293.15. So we can write like this, temperature in Celsius is 20 degrees Celsius, and in the Kelvin it is 293.15 K. So students, I hope you understood all these concepts and all these revisions. Okay, thank you.